They are talking about those two things. Either you have to stop somebody from being born, or you have to kill somebody. Who knows what happens in China right now if you have one or more baby? They abort the baby. The woman gets her tubes tied. The man is given a vasectomy. The family is fined. They're talking about depopulation.
But what happens if they accidentally have triplets?
It doesn't matter. That's what happens. They abort the baby before you even get started with the birth. That is the law. That's how things work.
Do they still get fined?
Now, who remembers where did they meet? In 1968, they met in the UN. Met in Bucharest, Romania. They had a meeting, all of the world governments, and they said we need to do something about overpopulation. See, they figured out the number, but what they did is they needed to convince everybody else that there was overpopulation, right? So they say, you do something to cull your population, we'll do something to cull our population. So the U.S. chose 1,024 gay men. Africa, they started smallpox. But they didn't just come with smallpox. They did it like they did the Indians, right? How'd they come? As friends. We want to help you. We want to give your village, your town this smallpox vaccine. And in return, we'll help you with food. We'll help you with radios. They gave people radios to vaccinate their people. And our traitor leaders over there in Africa, because they were in on it. Our traitor leaders, they did that. They let all of those people get vaccine shots and vaccination. There was no AIDS prior to that smallpox vaccine. It didn't exist. And you can research it. What you'll find out is when smallpox stopped,
was created, 63,000 gallons of it in Fort McKinley, and designated for Africa and designated for other places in the world in order to meet what was called the UN World Health Organization mandate called Population 2000. How many people ever heard of that? Population 2000 was that by the year 2000, the UN World Health Organization had the mandate to bring the population of the world down by 36 million. To do what? To protect Western civilization, because the greatest threat to Western civilization at that time, in 1971, was the threat of overpopulation of India, Pakistan, Far East Asia, Africa, South America. Now, for Africa, they chose AIDS. For China, they chose one child for one family. And if you don't want to know what that means, somebody needs to visit China and understand what that means. One child per family, what that means. It means that anybody in China that has a second child, they are arrested. The woman has a hysterectomy. The man has a vasectomy. They are put in jail as an example. And that child that they had, the second one, the pregnancy, is aborted. One child. That's the law in China. Who made that law? The Chinese, through the World Health Organization. I don't have to tell the people from India and Pakistan about the birth control that they have adopted in India. I don't have to tell anybody about that. But no, missionaries from the World Health Organization and Christian groups went into Africa and inoculated people for diphtheria, malaria, yellow fever, and they put in the medicine the AIDS virus. Now, is that diabolical or isn't it? Well, it's the truth. And the smoking gun of AIDS came out in 1996 because in America we have something called the Freedom of Information Act, which means every 25 years, what they do that we don't know about, they have to reveal it after 25 years. Now we know about it. This is what Khalid said, but people who study it know it very well.
Yet its brutal legacy remains. At the height of apartheid, the fight for freedom turned the townships of South Africa into battlegrounds. The white regime began using germ warfare against select targets within the black population.
I now declare that the hearing of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission is now in session.
Project Coast came to light in 1996 at the South African Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It was set up to allow victims of apartheid to testify. The commission granted amnesty to former security agents who admitted to their roles in acts of violence. Project co-scientists testified they were developing everything from assassination tools to methods of sterilizing the black population. But Vauver-Basson would admit to nothing.
Through the research reports that became available to the investigators of the Truth Commission were reports that were clearly focused on trying to find toxins that could be administered to individuals and then lead to death, but that would be undetectable post-mortem.
Yeah, yeah, I'm about to go in. Yeah, yeah. Let's get it. This is the manuscript, my lyrics are catastrophic. Punchlines and metaphors